Hello there, we're the Snodgrass family. I'm Scott, this is Georgia, this is Adeline, and this is Graham. Well, Georgia and I met here at church and just come off a men's retreat. And remember at the retreat just praying to meet somebody. And the retreat ended on Sunday, and on that Tuesday I met Georgia, and we spent every day together since.
We'd been married for about a year. We knew we didn't want to wait long to start having children because we were both a little bit older. I remember it not being the easiest thing to get pregnant, but after about 8 months or so, we did. We got pregnant with Adeline, and that was a very big highlight of our marriage. After Adeline was born, about a year later, we decided we would try to have baby number 2. We got pregnant, and actually for a second time, and we actually lost that baby after 8 weeks. I miscarried. It was a difficult time, and you don't always understand why things happen, but you just know that they do. And unfortunately, it didn't take too much longer after that we were able to get pregnant again with this little guy. During my pregnancy, we found that we had a high percentage to conceive a child born with Down syndrome. And then in June of 2011, this guy came on June 23rd, actually, and we didn't know for sure. We never did the amnio because there's a slight chance for miscarriage if you do that, and we just kind of left it in God's hands that He already knew Graham and what the outcome would be, and we were just resting in that.
Graham was born. It was hard. Yeah, it was hard. Just dealing with the fact that he had Down syndrome and just grieving all my hopes and dreams for my child.
But then this past June, he turned a year old, and it was just a bit of a turning point for us. We were able to just embrace everything that he is, and just excited. I'm just happy, and feel that Graham is just perfect in his own way.
Through all that, Georgia had continued to have her desire to adopt, and I'd always been hesitant.
I can't remember a time in my life that I did not have a desire to adopt. I don't remember any aha moment. It's just always been there.
I spent majority of my career in the human service field, and I've worked with a lot of adopted families, and for the most of the time it did not go well. It was very difficult. So just through reading the scripture and just discerning on adoption, reading James 1:27, he just talks about religion that God cares about is caring for orphans and widows. And I just remember thinking that as far as my family goes, we do very little for orphans. I was so convicted by that was a turning point in my thinking that yes, we need to do something, and I don't have it all figured out, and I'm a guy who likes to have it all figured out. And so now, just because of that, just again taking one step and put it in front of the other.
Last January, we started to research and figure out what does this look like for us? Where is God calling us? We were in Lot Family one Sunday, and Scott shared that our story with them, and I didn't even know he was going to share the story, and I was a little taken back, and it was an awesome day because they all just kind of wrapped themselves around us and began to pray, with us, to journey with us and what this looks like, and so from that point forward, we've just we've come a long way, and then just praying about where God was wanting us to adopt from.
When you begin to look at agencies and whatnot, your eyes become aware of that the need is great. There are many orphans out there who are starving to death and just don't have places to call home. And when I look at our house, we have an extra bedroom, so I felt like we need to do something as a family. So through the process of looking at agencies and just kind of discerning on where to adopt, Georgia and I had decided on just the continent of Africa, and just through a series of events had landed on Ghana.
So here we are, approximately 2.5 years since our original video was done. So we've been waiting for a little over 2 years to be matched with a child. Got to the point where we thought maybe God was leading us somewhere else, maybe Ghana wasn't going to happen. We started to look into other possible adoption options, but something inside of me said not to go down without a fight. So I started reaching out to anyone and everyone that I had met through the circle of adoption related to Ghana. And in that pursuit, I met 2 women who were very instrumental and have played a key role into where we're at today. Both of them had said that they felt that it would be possible to still adopt through Ghana, though not easy. So with that being said, one of the women thought she knew of a little boy who was in our age range, so she was going to check and see and let us know. At that same time, I had followed up with another orphanage director in another location in Ghana that we had met previously and had heard about a little boy at his orphanage over the summer. Both people ended up getting back to us within days, maybe a week at the most, of each other. And there were 2 boys in 2 different orphanages, both fit into our age range, and both were adoptable. And so it was kind of left upon our shoulders as to what to do next.
And I remember laying in bed that night and thinking, one day we're going to have to give an account for our lives before our Creator. And I remember thinking, I don't want to be the one to decide who we choose. So I was going to let the God of the universe decide. So at that time we committed to both, even though we only had the resources for one.
And at that point, I reached back out to our power of attorney in Ghana and told him that we would pursue both. Not knowing how that was going to look like, but just knew in our hearts that we were making the right decision.
And then we set up a trip to meet the boys and go to Africa.
We meet Francis, and he's very nervous around us, but then it was beautiful to be able to see him open up and to see his big smile and just that light inside of him come out. We got to spend several days with JoJo too, and it was just amazing for the boys to be able to meet each other. One of the, among many things, difficult is me now wrestling with the fact that we go over there and we love these boys like crazy for a week, and then we have to leave.
So there's a lot of steps in between now. So like paperwork in court and praying for all those things to happen rapidly, and just praying that God expedites this process, and look forward to having the opportunity to introduce these boys to our community, to our church, and to our family. This isn't a story about us. This adoption, this process is bigger than us. The statistics say there are 153 million single orphans out there, meaning they have one parent alive, and then that there are 18 million double orphans out there. And even here in the state of Missouri, there are 13,000 kids in foster care. And I'm a believer that the church is the best hope for these kids to have their forever family, to have the opportunity to have a mom and dad. It's incredibly important. So it would just be a shame if it was just about us and not the bigger picture of the call in each of our lives to care for orphans and kids in foster care. If you're watching this, you're a part of our story. There's been so many people who have given so generously, who are a part of this story.
And while the resources felt so huge, and like how would we ever get there, God has already provided and continues to provide, and while we're not there yet, I have no doubt that He'll continue to get us there. So we just appreciate all the support we've gotten from so many people.